everyone, so today I'm doing a requested video. I got a request to do some organization videos, and I'm gonna start off with a what's in my school bag because I feel like this is the foundation of having a good semester. So I got this backpack from Target in this back to school season, so you should probably still be able to find it. This is the Swiss Gear backpack, and I really like it because it's really organized due to the different divisions. Alright, so I just kept all of them open so it's easy access for me to just grab and talk to you guys about the products I have in here. But basically it looks like this, and if you guys want to see it more in depth, I did do a back to school supplies haul this year and I did show the different pockets in this backpack. So first and foremost, I have some snacks. I have some just mango slices. Usually I use the Aldi slices, but I found out they had too much added sugar, and these are actually without added sugar, so that's super cool. I'm going to try them out and hope that they are just as good as the Aldi kind. So next I have some hand sanitizer. I like to buy the Bath & Body Works 5 for 5 deal. If it's still 5 for 5, I'm not really sure. I know that once they did this packaging, they changed the prices, so I'm not really sure if it's still 5 for 5. Hopefully it is, but I just like to buy a couple of these per school year, and I think 2 of them last the whole semester, so that's super cool. I just keep some highlighters and pens. My favorite type of pens are the Papermate Profile pens. Super great for taking notes because it's just super bold and fun to write with. For highlighters, I like to use a Sharpie brand. Nothing too special. I don't go crazy with having great highlighters because I just feel like as long as you have highlighters that don't bleed through the paper, you're fine. Next is a wallet. It's super important to keep a wallet because you should have your ID, your credit cards, your debit cards, whatever you keep with you, some pocket money, anything like that. It's super important to budget your money in college, so if you want to see a video on that, definitely request it down below. I think it's super useful if you guys need and want to see it. Next, I just keep a planner. I love planning, and I used to really like it back in the fall semester, and then during the spring semester I used it more for actual planning. What I mean by that is I went very decorative during my fall semester. It was a really great stress relieving technique, so I'm going to show you guys one of my weeks. I don't know if there's anything like too personal on this, so I'm not gonna zoom in too close, but this is like the week before Christmas, so it was finals week. Super fun to use a lot of stickers, but when it came to spring semester I was just super stressed out about it that I just did a normal style planning, a little bit of stickers, and then some weeks would just have a lot of writing. I just keep my toiletry bag, I guess you could say. If you're on campus a lot like me, because I'm a commuter, you'll know that this is super important. It's super important to have some of your essentials like medicine, pads, deodorant, sunscreen, all that kind of stuff that you need on a daily basis. So I just have some Dove Sensitive Skin Deodorant. Next is some Aveeno sunscreen. I just started incorporating this into my routine because I honestly have not been using sunscreen around campus, usually because fall and winter semesters it's not that hot and it's cold, so I don't really think to use sunscreen, but I should definitely start using it more. During my summer session I had to use sunscreen because it was like 80-90 degrees every day. I just used the Aveeno Baby Continuous Protection. This was just on sale at a local Christmas tree shop, so I was like, why not just get some sunscreen. I just have some earphones. I don't listen to music that much at school. I say that I normally just listen to music on the way there in the car and on the way home, as like a stress relieving technique. If you listen to too much music throughout the day, I feel like I get distracted, so that's why I just keep these on hand for the times where I'm studying in a really noisy cafe and I need some white noise. Next are index cards. I've been finding them extremely useful because you get to test your knowledge. I know this was a technique that you use more in middle school and high school, but honestly, in college, anything works. You just gotta do it, and it's super helpful. I actually like to use these scratch pad blank sheets, kind of like this, drawing them out. It's super helpful, and I find these a lot more useful than the ones with lines. I just don't like things with lines anymore. I think everyone has kind of been learning that lined paper kind of feels restrictive, and as you could see on Instagram, it's really trendy to use like white paper all the time. I found that a lot of undergraduates and even med students like to use sketchbooks as notebooks now because it's just super interactive and not as restricting. I also keep some praying markers. I bought these actually at school because I wanted some colored markers. These aren't like the best of all kind. I know a lot of different YouTubers and social media study students use some nice like midi liners and those fine tip Staedtler markers, but nope, I'm pretty cheap and a broke college kid, so I use the praying markers. There's nothing wrong with them. I find that these are just as useful, and I'm going to just use them from now on. Next, I have some sketchbooks. You might be wondering why I have sketchbooks in my backpack. Well, like I said before, med students and undergraduate students have been trending with these lately. All over Instagram you see sketchbooks as notebooks. So these are the new thing, I'm not gonna lie. But how I use them is I don't take notes in them, I actually study in them. So I take my regular notebook and I translate the notes into visual diagrams in my sketchbooks. If you want to see a video on that, definitely request it down below. If you're wondering what brand I use, it's just a brand that I found at Hobby Lobby, and this is the Fabriano brand. So a thing to be concerned about is how long your notebook is going to last. I really don't like to have 2 notebooks for a class because I feel like that's super inefficient, and going back to the material in the future is going to be kind of difficult because you're going to forget if you had a different notebook for that class. So what happened with this class is that it overflowed and I didn't have enough notebook space in this, as you can see. I ended this notebook before the semester ended and I had to get a new notebook. So keep that in mind when you're choosing your notebook. Kind of think about how many notes you're going to have to take and if it's going to last through 1 notebook or 2. So if it does overflow, I'd recommend just buying a bigger notebook to begin with so you don't have to worry about getting 2 notebooks and getting confused and losing one, all that kind of stuff. Got this from the Christmas tree shops and it's just a notepad, nothing special. I like to write a lot of to-do lists on this. This is what happens when I get lazy and I don't want to write in my planner. I just use a notepad, and I just feel like this is even more helpful because in your planner it's kind of restricted and sometimes there's not enough space to write little to-do lists. So super helpful for to-do lists and I really recommend it. Last but not least, I have a folder. This is the end of the semester, so that's why there's just a lot of stuff in it. I can't really go too in detail about this because it's just not organized, but to show you guys what I have in here, I have some visual diagrams that I've made, I have some review sheets that I've made, I have some charts that are super helpful, and then I have a lot of just review sheets. And then I have this whole stack of index cards. This is the entire class worth of index cards. As you can see, it's actually not a lot. I kind of condensed them and made sure I didn't overdo it. So this is something I would actually study with for finals. And if you guys want to see a more updated video on that, I do have some videos in the past, but I will definitely do one if you request it. Alright guys, that's all I keep in my school bag. If you guys want to see more videos from me, definitely subscribe, like this video, and comment down below.